Welcome, my booties. That does not work. Hi, I'm Fox, any pronouns, and it's another treat or terror. This time we're looking at Treehouse of Horror 12. Apparently the first Simpsons episode to air after 9/11. We open on Burns and Smithers putting up a single Halloween decoration, leading into a fun death and corpse explosion. Then we see the Simpsons costumes for this year, and honestly, very delightful. It's cute to see Marge and Homer dressed as another animated sitcom couple that should have divorced after the first kid. They run from the carnage, getting sliced apart, and Burns looks on and laughs. This bat decoration is adorable, and I want it. Our first segment is Hex and the City, which is a great title parodying Sex and the City. The Simpsons are an ethnic town, which feels really bad after 9/11 and the immense rise of racism, xenophobia, and especially Islamophobia. But don't worry, they're mostly making fun of what we now consider white ethnicities. They stumble on a fortune teller, and proceed to use the G-slur against Romani people an uncomfortable amount of times. If you don't know, the Romani community does not like that word. It is a slur against them that has erased and harmed their heritage. This was 2001, so I'll give some slack to The Simpsons. It wasn't as widely known, and in fact, most people still do not know this. But it doesn't feel good to hear. I won't, however, cut The Simpsons wiki any slack for constantly using it. Just call her a fortune teller, it's not hard. Anyway, Homer ends up offending the fortune teller, who places a curse on him, saying he'll bring bad luck to everyone he loves. Which is already the truth, but now it's magical. This curse starts the very next morning when Marge grows a full beard and stash overnight. #goals. Bart's neck is elongated after Homer strangles him, and he can't keep his head up. Lisa becomes a centaur. Normal mornings around the breakfast table stuff. Naturally, Homer goes to Moe's, who gives him the advice to capture a leprechaun. Homer keeps denying that a curse is even happening. Then a helicopter suddenly crashes into the bar, crushing Lenny and Carl. And then somehow, Moe gets pickled. So Homer sets out to capture a leprechaun. A leprechaun who is just a bastard. I love him. Look at his gleeful chaos. Homer brings him to the fortune teller. They proceed to get down to business. Oh yeah. And the segment ends on a wedding, where we get the quick Kang and Kodos cameo for the year.
Yep, everything worked out for the best.
What? Bart is dead!
Besides the repeated use of the ethnic slur, this episode was pretty decent. Not S-tier stuff, but at least a high C. The ending had me cackling. Also, there were a few fun little chuckles, like Lenny wanting to die first so he didn't have to watch Carl die, or Bart just straight up drowning himself. Next up is House of Wax. Another good title, this time parodying House of Wax. That's not what this is about, though. Instead, The Simpsons purchased the Ultra House 3000, a high-tech smart home. She changes the voice to Pierce Bronson's. Which, yeah, good choice. Ultra House, or Pierce as they call him, is working great for the family, catering to them, making their favorite foods. They're living the dream. Then Pierce falls in love with Marge. Does anyone remember the Disney Channel original movie Smart House from 1999? It's kind of like that, except the house doesn't want to be a good mom to the kids and keep the family safe. He wants to kill Homer and take his place. So Pierce sends Homer down the garbage disposal. The next morning, Marge is very suspicious, and right away assumes the house has killed her husband. Instead of realizing he is a better father and husband than Homer, she calls the police, only for the house to intercept.
This is Constable Wickham's. We'll be right there. Remove your knickers and wait in the bath.
The family runs, trying to escape the house all around them, only for a bloody hand to burst through the tiled floor. Homer is alive and well. Mostly. They race to the basement to destroy the Ultra House CPU, taking out his British charm unit and shutting him down. Since it seems a shame to just junk him, they give Ultra House to Marge's sisters.
Looking for this?
No, not in there.
This was pretty enjoyable. It just hit me that I don't get the title. I don't know what the wax refers to. Regardless, I still liked it well enough. A solid B episode. I'd fuck the house. Our final segment this time is Whiz Kids. 2001. A prime time to parody the Harry Potter books. The first movie had just premiered 2 days before this episode aired. Way back before JKR went down the TERF/RadFem pipeline. The kids attend the Springwort School of Magicry, where of course Lisa excels, while Bart creates a sin against nature. Cut to Lord Montymort and his trusty assistant Slithers. This design is delightful. They plot to capture Lisa, just needing the help of an outside party.
How about Satan?
No, I'm ducking him. His wife has a screenplay.
They convince Bart to get in on their evil ploy, so he can see her publicly humiliated. At the magic recital, after Milhouse fails at an invisibility cloak trick and runs off stage naked, it's Lisa's turn. She's going to perform the levitating dragon trick. Only backstage, Bart stretches out her wand for a Twizzler. It turns out the dragon is actually Lord Montymort in disguise. He tries to suck out her magic with a helmet thing, prompting Bart to decide he's got to step up. Magic doesn't work for him, so he runs up and shinks a bitch in the shin, the source of Montymort's power. Then Slithers swallows him whole while crying. Someone's kink, undoubtedly. A retroactive hate for JKR and her works aside, this wasn't that entertaining. Easily the lowest of the bunch, offering very little both in terms of parody and in terms of general entertainment. It got real old, real fast. A parody needs to hold up on its own without the context of the source material, which this segment does not do. Even within context, there's not much to offer. There's a surprise closing sequence with Pierce Bronson, the Leprechaun, and the Sin Against Nature that's a little amusing. Overall, I didn't enjoy this one much. The Ultra House episode was the best, no contest. This Treehouse was just exhausting to get through. Maybe that's a little harsh, especially with what's coming up in later Treehouses, but it's how this year's made me feel. And that's all the commentary I have for this one. Thanks for joining my lucid screaming.